Stop. Do not scroll past this moment. Look at me right now. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your eyes to these words on this very day. And I have stopped your hands in this exact second because your soul is demanding a truth you can no longer ignore. There is an urgent matter we must settle before the sun sets. Your answer is needed today. Give me a few minutes of your precious time. I promise you will not regret staying here with me. The noise of the world is loud, but my voice is clear. You have been running from this encounter for weeks because you are afraid of what you might find in the quiet spaces. But I am here to tell you that you are ready to face the truth. Listen to me with the deepest part of your heart. This platform did not choose you, but my grace orchestrated this alignment. Thousands of videos are passing by your screen every single day, and your spirit paused at this exact intersection because you secretly sensed a massive shift happening in the unseen realm. This is your divine appointment. Before we go any further into this message, I need your absolute agreement. Like this video right now as a physical act of alignment with my purpose. Leave a comment below and write the phrase, "I am here for a reason." Do not let distraction steal this holy instruction from you, because the enemy wants to pull your mind away from my presence. Type it now to anchor your faith. Now, come closer to me. Let the heavy armor you have been wearing fall to the ground. Breathe deeply and let your racing thoughts find a moment of perfect rest. I am stepping into your day and into your atmosphere right now, because your weary heart desperately needs to hear my voice. Speak peace over your life. I know how tired you are. I see the exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. I saw you when you sat on the edge of your bed last night. The house was quiet and everyone else was asleep. You held your head in your hands and wept softly in the darkness. And you quietly asked if your prayers were even hitting the ceiling while you carried the crushing weight of your family alone. The pressure in your chest felt like a heavy stone. I saw you when you forced a smile for the people who depend on your strength. You walked into your workplace and carried their heavy burdens without complaining once because you believed you had to hold the world together. They think you have everything together because you always act like they're unshakable rock. But inside your soul, you feel like a hollow vessel about to break. You are pouring from an empty cup. I watched you when you hid in your car to cry where no one could see your painful tears. You turned up the music so the loud sound would drown out your broken whimpers. You wiped your face quickly before walking back into the house because you did not want to explain your sorrow to anyone. You are fighting a lonely battle. Your shoulders are tight and your neck carries the heavy tension of unanswered questions. Every single morning you wake up, the old anxiety is already waiting for you. It sits on your chest before you can even open your eyes, and you constantly wonder why the great breakthrough you were promised in the past is taking so long to arrive in your reality. You feel completely forgotten. Let me validate your pain right now. It is hard to keep believing when everything around you looks like a locked door. You have avoided the traps of the enemy while protecting your integrity with every single breath. Yet you watch other people succeed around you while you remain completely stuck. You have done the right things, and you have stayed faithful in the dark. You feel like a warrior who has been left on the battlefield without any reinforcements. The sword in your hand feels heavy, and your shield is dented from the constant attacks. The enemy has been whispering that your holy season has expired. He wants you to believe that my silence means I have rejected your soul forever and walked away from the covenant we made. But hear me clearly in this holy silence. The frustration you are feeling is actually a divine protection. I call this season the protective delay because I am keeping your steps away from rooms that would destroy your destiny. If I gave you the answer yesterday, you would have walked into a dangerous trap. I know you are tired of waiting. I know the legal timeline you created has already passed. You feel embarrassed because you told your friends that things would change by now. They are asking mocking questions and you do not have any clear answers to give them, so you choose to stay silent. So you stay quiet and you isolate yourself from the crowd. Let us look at the truth together. You are not stuck because you made a massive mistake. You are not behind because you lack talent or divine favor. I am holding the door shut because the foundation beneath your feet is still being shaped by my hands to support the weight of your future. A great structure requires a deep foundation, and that process always takes a lot of time. I saw you when you almost gave UP last Tuesday. You were ready to throw away your dreams and settle for a mediocre life. You told yourself that it was foolish to expect a miracle because you had been disappointed so many times before in your journey. But a quiet voice inside your spirit told you to hold on for one more day. That voice was me whispering peace into your panic. I am the God who sees your hidden sacrifices. I have recorded every single tear you dropped into the cold darkness. Not a single whimper was wasted or ignored by my holy throne. I am counting the days of your isolation because they are the raw material for your future testimony that will shake the world. You are being formed in secret places. Your pain is real, but your purpose is greater. The enemy is targeting your mind because he is terrified of your hidden potential. He knows that when you finally realize who you are, his kingdom will lose its grip on your family and your bloodline forever. You are the one chosen to break the cycle of generational lack. But right now, your heart is completely overwhelmed by the static of everyday life. You cannot hear my whispers because the anxiety is screaming too loud in your thoughts. I need you to understand that you cannot fight this spiritual battle with your physical strength because the weapons of this warfare are not carnal. You must learn to surrender the outcome to me. Let me speak peace over your nervous system. Relax your hands and release the tight grip you have on your problems. You have been trying to solve the puzzle alone for far too long. You spend your nights calculating outcomes that you can never control, while the enemy fills your mind with scenarios of failure. It is time to let me be God. I see the silent warrior inside you crying out for a place to rest. You do not have to be strong in my presence. You are allowed to be broken, and you are allowed to be weak. My power is made perfect in the exact place where your human strength ends, so you can witness my glory. Bring your broken pieces to my altar. We are standing at a critical crossroads today. The message I am releasing over your life requires your full attention. Do not let the notifications on your phone pull you away from this holy frequency. Your soul is starving for this truth. Stay focused on my voice, because the next few minutes will redefine the entire trajectory of the season you are entering. Let me remind you of the promise we started with. Your answer is needed today, because a divine shift is happening in the unseen realm. The spiritual atmosphere around your home is trembling right now under my command as I begin to push back the darkness. But you must be awake, and you must be receptive to see the breakthrough. You think you are being left behind, do you not? Let me reveal the truth that will completely change your perspective. Quote, what you call a painful delay is actually the precise forging of your weapon before you step onto the battlefield. A warrior cannot fight with an unbent blade. Your current season of isolation is a divine training ground. I am exposing the lies that the enemy has planted in your thoughts during the dark seasons. He told you that you are alone because nobody cares about your existence. He told you that your sacrifice was in vain. But he is a liar, and he wants you to give up right before the harvest appears because he knows how great your reward will be. I have surrounded you with my angels, even when the room felt completely empty. I stood beside you when you felt the weight of yesterday still sitting heavily on your heart, and whispered that tomorrow would bring a new light. You survived the storm because my hand was holding your anchor steady. You are still standing because I am not finished. You think you are being left behind, but you do not see the larger picture because your eyes are fixed on the closed doors. Stay with me for the next few moments. Let me pull back the curtain of the unseen realm and show you the hidden battle that has been raging over your name while you slept. The truth will shock your soul. Come deeper into the quiet with me now, my child. Let us speak about the heavy shadows. You feel entirely alone in this desolate valley. They only see your outward success. You hide your true feelings from them, and they do not know the terrifying emptiness that hollows out your heart when the daily noise finally fades away. I saw you when you stared at the blank wall last night. Your body was frozen. Your mind was running a dangerous marathon. You searched through every painful memory to find the exact moment you lost your way. and you wondered if you had done something so terrible that my grace could no longer reach your hidden wounds. I watched you when you clutched your blanket tightly. The cold chill of loneliness felt like a physical weight. You wanted to scream for help. Nobody would understand the complexity of your sorrow, and you have become a complete stranger in your own home, while you pretend to be perfectly fine for your family. Let us speak about the strange restlessness in your spirit. You feel a quiet stirring in your chest. You cannot easily explain this feeling to your closest friends. Your pulse quickens when you sit in an empty room, and a sudden wave of heavy sadness washes over your thoughts because you are experiencing an unseen shift. The enemy has used this mysterious restlessness to torture your vulnerable mind. He attacks you during the midnight hours. He tells you that your mental health is failing. He wants you to believe that this emotional fog will be your permanent home until you die. But he is a completely deceptive liar. You have built an invisible wall around your true self. You are tired of being judged by critical people. You walk through crowded streets in silence. You look up at the dark sky for a tiny sign, and the cold silence of heaven feels like total rejection, because you cannot hear my gentle voice. You feel like you are trapped in a tight cage. Everyone else is running freely toward their glorious destinies. You watch their happy photographs every single weekend. You listen to their exciting testimonies of abundance, and you quietly ask why your sincere prayers are constantly met with a brick wall of absolute silence. I need you to anchor your soul in this exact moment. Do not carry this isolation in total secrecy anymore. I am ready to lift the heavy stone from your broken heart. Leave a meaningful testimony under this video right now to seal your agreement, and you must comment the phrase, "You see my tears," to acknowledge my presence. I know the hidden shame that follows your steps. You think about your empty bank account. You mourn over your broken relationships. You have sacrificed your youthful years to build a righteous life, but your current harvest looks like a barren field of dry sand, because your physical reality does not match my promises. Your teeth are clenched tightly. Your jaw hurts from holding back the bitter words. You are secretly angry at the long delay. You think your frustration is a terrible sin, and you believe this emotional weakness will disqualify your soul from receiving my future blessings, because you are just a tired human. I know what you are thinking right now, my child. You think these words are incredibly beautiful. Your actual reality remains completely unchanged after years of constant pleading. You wonder why this specific moment will be any different from the past, and you fear that another deep disappointment will shatter your remaining faith. Your honest questions do not offend my majesty. I will not turn my face away from your trembling spirit. Your doubt actually reveals your deep loyalty. You have been standing faithful in the freezing darkness without any earthly comfort, and I am preparing to answer your weary soul plainly so you can release your anxiety. Hear me with absolute clarity. My silence during these long seasons was never my absence from your painful battles. There were dangerous answers I intentionally withheld from your life. You did not see the hidden traps, and I was not ignoring your desperate cries because I was carefully protecting your destiny from destruction. You have watched your friends walk away from you. They came to you in their darkest hours for help. They used your pure heart to rebuild their broken lives. They discarded your precious friendship like a worthless rag, and the pain of their betrayal feels like a sharp knife twisting inside your open wounds whenever you hear their names. You are so tired of pretending that everything is fine. Your entire world is quietly collapsing into ashes. You dress up nicely every morning. You speak with an artificial confidence because you are terrified of showing your vulnerability. You believe that if they see your weakness, they will lose all respect for your character. This spiritual isolation has felt like a heavy prison sentence. You did not deserve to receive this punishment. You look at the ordinary people around you. They do not care about righteousness, and you wonder why the calling on your life must require such an agonizing price of constant separation from the crowd. Your physical body is crying out for an end to this warfare. This invisible battle drains your life force every single day. Your eyes look tired in the mirror. The youthful spark has completely vanished into the gray fog of depression, and you feel older than your actual age because you have carried decades of generational sorrow. Let us touch the absolute bottom of your grief in this sacred space. No human eyes can judge your tears here. You have secretly wished that you could simply disappear from this earthly realm. You want to escape the relentless pressure of survival, and your spirit is completely empty of any human strength to continue the fight. The enemy has capitalized on this profound emptiness. He suggests that your destiny is already dead. He whispers that you have missed your divine window of opportunity. He calls you too weak and too fearful, and he wants you to lie down in this pit of despair because he wants to bury your remaining hope forever. But I have been counting every single moment of your suffering. You spent those long hours sitting on that cold floor in total darkness. You could not find a single word to form a proper prayer to my throne. Your quiet weeping was the loudest sound in heaven, and it was a pure cry of total vulnerability from my chosen child. You thought your tears were washing away your divine destiny. You believed that the darkness had finally won the battle over your mind. You felt completely abandoned by the light of heaven. Your hopeless thoughts were creating an illusion of total defeat. But my love was wrapping around your broken spirit while you lay there in silence before my altar. The enemy wants you to remember only the pain of this valley. He forces your mind to replay your past failures. He tells you that your future will look exactly like your empty present. You are trapped in a loop of constant sorrow. But I am breaking the power of his deceptive whispers today, because your restoration has already been authorized by my decree. Do not let the enemy define the purpose of my holy silence. He sees the closing of a painful chapter. He calls it the definitive end of your beautiful book. But I see the grand preparation for a glorious revelation, and the heavy darkness that has bound your mind is about to dissolve under the magnificent light of my presence. We are leaving the valley of deep pain right now. Prepare your spirit to look at the hidden reality. Step away from the mirror of your physical circumstances. Look directly into the eyes of your loving Creator, and let us enter the sacred room of your memories where I have been standing quietly beside your bed through every single storm. Breathe in my peace right now, my beloved child. Lift your beautiful eyes to my face. You think you are completely hidden in this dark room, but my holy glory is filling the space around your trembling body. You can stop looking for a physical sign because my warm presence is the absolute answer to your silent prayers. The cold wind of isolation cannot touch you anymore because I am wrapping my arms tightly around your fragile spirit. I need you to understand something very deeply in this quiet space. I have never left your side for a single second during this painful journey. You thought you were walking through the burning desert entirely alone because you could not see my footprints in the dry sand. But I was actually carrying your heavy body on my strong shoulders when your knees buckled from the sheer exhaustion of survival. I was there when you received that heartbreaking news last winter. I sat next to you when you could not catch your breath because the shock was too heavy for your mind to process. Your human friends could not find the right words to comfort your soul, but my gentle spirit was already breathing life back into your lungs while you sat there in total shock. I watched your tears fall. I was there when they laughed at your innocent dreams. They told you that you were a fool for believing in my ancient promises. They said your faith was just an illusion because nothing was changing in your external circumstances, and your heart grew completely numb from the constant weight of their cruel judgment. But I recorded every single mocking word they spoke against your destiny. Let us look into the sacred records of the past together. There was a young man I placed a magnificent dream inside long ago. He was exceptionally faithful, and he was completely pure in his heart. Yet I allowed his own brothers to throw his innocent body into a dark pit because they hated his divine calling. He cried in the total silence of that cistern and wondered why I let it happen. He did not understand the deep mystery of my timing back then. He believed his beautiful dream was dead inside that deep hole. He spent years in chains as a humble slave in a foreign land, and he felt entirely forgotten by the God of his fathers while he sat in a dark prison cell. But I was not absent from his suffering. I was building a throne beneath the surface. My child, the pit you are sitting in right now is not your permanent grave. It is your holy preparation room. I am using the darkness of this current season to build a character that no earthly king can destroy. Hold the great dream I placed inside your spirit with everything you have left. Do not let the heavy shadows convince you that I dropped your covenant. Your story is safe. Let me show you another evidence of my precise work from my sacred library. There was a family I loved very deeply in a small town. His family sent an urgent message to my throne for help. They expected me to rush to their house immediately to heal his physical body, but I intentionally waited where I was for 2 more days. I did not move. They could not see my massive plan. They watched their beloved brother draw his very last breath while I remained silent. They wrapped his cold body in linen clothes and placed him inside a dark tomb of rock. And when I finally arrived at their village, they wept bitterly at my feet. They told me I was too late. They said if I had been there, their brother would not have suffered this terrible death. They lost all hope. They believed that 4 days in the grave meant absolute finality. They thought the story was completely over because the physical body was already decaying in the heat. But my child, I am never late. What looks like 4 days gone to your human eyes looks like the perfect moment for my glory to explode. I walked up to that sealed stone and called his name out loud. The dead man walked out of that dark cave fully restored. What looked like a tragedy was actually the raw material for the greatest miracle of that generation. The very dream you have already buried in your heart is not dead. The relationship you stopped praying for because it felt beyond saving is still in my hands. I am standing outside your sealed tomb right now. Do not let the long delay close your fragile heart to my current movement. This video is your divine signal that the stone is about to roll away from your life. Do not rush past this holy blessing because it is an alignment of grace. Leave a comment below this message right now to anchor your faith. Write the words, "I trust your timing," to declare your victory. I feel your soul beginning to expand as these words touch your spirit. The tight knot in your chest is finally loosening up because you are realizing that your waiting was not in vain. You are a holy vessel of my glory. I have separated your life from the careless crowd because I am pouring an unadulterated oil of anointing upon your head. You cannot live like an ordinary person. Your unique path requires a unique level of processing. The crushing you have experienced in secret was not meant to destroy your identity. It was the precise pressing of the olives to extract the pure oil from my sanctuary. The enemy wanted you to believe that the heavy pressure would break your bones. But I was monitoring the temperature of the furnace the entire time. You are not a random fragment of creation. You are a masterpiece that my hands have carefully formed over many years. Even when you cannot feel your true worth, that does not make it disappear from my eyes. A precious jewel covered in thick dust is still exceptionally valuable to the master jeweler. I am wiping away the debris of this painful season from your mind. I have held you tightly in my arms through the deep darkness of this long valley. Now, I need you to sit up straight and lift your chin. Let us leave the place of weeping behind us. I am about to show you the glorious mountain I have been preparing for your feet to climb. The era of your hiddenness is coming to an absolute end. Your light is rising. Listen carefully to the sound of my prophetic voice right now. The spiritual atmosphere over your home is shifting because my words are clearing out the stale static of the enemy. You have heard me whisper tender peace over your open wounds for a long time. Now, it is time for you to hear me declare your absolute freedom with supreme authority. The chains are trembling. The enemy has had his hour to scream lies into your thoughts. He has exhausted all his deceptive strategies to make you give up your inheritance. He has used your closest friends to drain your emotional strength. He has blocked your physical provisions to make you feel like a worthless beggar. But his legal authority over your life is being canceled today by my blood. I am changing the very foundation of your existence right now. I am not doing this to destroy your life, but to rebuild an unshakable kingdom inside your spirit. The old structure had to collapse because it could not carry the weight of the massive blessing I am about to release. Do not mourn over the pieces that fell away from your hands during the storm. Those closed doors and those sudden departures were my divine pruning shears. I had to cut away the dead branches that were stealing your vital energy. I had to remove the people who were not equipped to walk into your next chapter. They were too small for your massive destiny, and I will not allow their limited vision to hold back the great flood of my abundance. Breathe deeply once again, my beloved child. Let the perfect calm of heaven saturate your nervous system. You do not have to fight this battle alone anymore because the host of heaven has just entered the field on your behalf. Because what I am about to declare next will completely break the ancient patterns of your family line. Listen to this next part very clearly. Hear me now. The hour of your absolute breakthrough has arrived in this room. I have watched you replay every single conversation late at night. You search desperately for the one thing you did wrong. You accomplish something great, and you feel absolutely nothing inside your heart because your eyes go straight to what is still undone. You are completely exhausted. You have called this behavior a healthy perfectionism. You have told yourself that you simply have incredibly high standards for your career. But that is not the truth. I will not let you keep believing that dangerous lie for another day. It is destroying your mental health. It is isolating your spirit from my perfect peace. Here is the grand mystery of your current struggle. Long ago in your childhood story, you learned that love had to be earned through constant performance. You believed you were only safe when you were completely useful to others. I call this condition the earning wound. It is a deep scar from a painful moment you do not even remember. So all those years you thought you were being lazy when you rested were not wasted at all. You were actually fighting an invisible lie that told you rest was a sin. All those times you could not receive a genuine compliment, you were not practicing holy humility. You were simply guarding an unhealed trauma. You were hiding. Today I am taking that heavy lie away from your mind. The next time you finish a hard task and feel that familiar emptiness, you must stop. Place your hand firmly over your heart right now. Hear my voice tell you that you were completely loved before you ever achieved a single thing on this earth. Receive my grace. You do not have to earn what I freely give to you. The striving is officially over. The heavy burden is falling. Peace is your current reality. You are fully accepted in my sanctuary. Let the tight grip on your destiny relax completely because my hands are holding the entire universe steady for your sake. This is the exact moment to break the ancient spell of your bloodline. The enemy has used this wound to keep your family in a cycle of constant exhaustion for 3 generations. Speak against his authority right now. Leave a comment below this video and write the phrase, "The chain breaks here." Type it now to claim freedom. Your act of obedience is sealing your freedom in the spiritual realm. The atmosphere is clearing because the static of the earning wound is dissolving. Let me show you who you are actually becoming on the other side of this transition. I want to pull back the heavy veil of time and lead your spirit into your glorious future. Picture a beautiful morning exactly 6 months from now. You wake up gently before your loud alarm sounds, and for the first time in a very long while, there is no tight knot of anxiety waiting for you in your stomach. The room is filled with a soft golden light. The world around you is completely quiet and calm. You lie there in your comfortable bed for a long moment. You suddenly notice that a strange thing has happened to your body. The chronic heaviness you carried in your bones for decades is simply not there anymore. Your very first thought is not a wave of panic. It is a quiet question about what good thing you will experience today. You breathe slowly and the fresh air goes all the way down into your lungs without any restriction. There is a beautiful softness in your chest where there used to be a tightly clenched fist. You do not feel the desperate need to perform for anyone on this day. You are simply at home in your own identity. You are at peace. That peaceful version of your life is not a foolish fantasy, my child. That person already exists right now in the spiritual realm. She is not many long years away from your current location. He is sitting right on the other side of one single surrender. The future you desire is closer than your next physical breath. And the actual distance between the two of you is not a matter of time. It is a matter of pure permission. It is the exact moment you finally stop carrying what I never asked you to hold. You must allow my strong arms to lift the heavy weight instead. The bridge is built with your trust. Step onto it now. Let us return to the urgent matter of this specific day. The title of this encounter stated that your answer was needed today. You have spent hours wondering what difficult task I would demand from your hands. You thought you had to make a painful sacrifice to satisfy my justice. But my command is much simpler. I am asking for your absolute permission to be the Lord over your chaotic circumstances. The answer I require from your soul today is a complete surrender of your timeline. You must stop trying to force the locked doors to open with your empty strength. You must let go of the steering wheel of your life. Give it to me. I know the enemy is whispering that this surrender is dangerous. He tells your anxious mind that if you stop striving, you will lose everything you have built. He wants you to believe that laziness will destroy your career, but he only wants to keep you trapped in the prison of the earning wound forever. Do not listen. Let us unpack another hidden mechanism in your spirit. I hear the silent prayers you have completely stopped praying out loud because you were so tired of waiting for the results. You watch other people receive their sudden breakthroughs while you sit in the dark and wonder if I have forgotten your personal name. You have started to believe that my silence means total rejection. You tell yourself that you are not faithful enough to receive a miracle. My beloved, that dark belief is a dangerous thief. What you have been feeling is not my rejection at all. It is the enemy whispering false meaning into my holy silence. I call this the stolen meaning. The silence you took as my complete absence was actually my intense focus on your protection. I was working in hidden rooms you could not see. I was aligning a perfect timeline you could not measure with human clocks. The delay was never a punishment. It was my hand shielding your heart from a toxic victory that would break you. So when the waiting feels completely unbearable, you must change your question. Stop asking why I am silent in this valley. Start asking what dangerous thing I am actively protecting your soul from, and then rest your mind in this glorious truth. A temporary delay from my throne is still an act of pure love. Trust my grand design. Let us look at another beautiful scene in your future destiny. Picture a moment not very long from now. A broken soul comes to your house for guidance. They are carrying the exact same weight of exhaustion that you are holding today. They are weeping in total despair because they cannot find the doorway to their freedom. And you look into their tired eyes and you know exactly what to say to heal them. The right words flow from your lips without any hesitation or effort. You do not quote a dry textbook. You speak from the deep well of your own survival. The very pain you begged me to remove has become the supernatural medicine in your hands. You watch the bright light return to their hopeless eyes as they listen to your testimony. And in that exact second, you finally understand why your road had to be so long and heavy. Nothing was wasted. Every single tear you dropped in the darkness became a fresh well of living water that other souls will drink from. You are a healer. That beautiful destination is your true destiny. It is closer to your reality than you can possibly imagine today. The only thing standing between you and that glorious moment is the heavy static still sitting on your tired shoulders. I do not ask you to carry that exhaustion for another single mile. The season of striving ends now. The decree has been officially signed in the courts of heaven. The authority of the enemy over your thoughts has been completely stripped away by my word. You are no longer the silent survivor who must fight every battle in terrifying isolation. You are a chosen child of the living God. Your identity is fully restored in this room. Now, set aside the noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you what I placed on your path. Whether you step forward now or later, you are still my beloved child. And there is a beautiful gift I want to speak over you before this message closes completely. Close your eyes for a brief second. Breathe. I am still here with you. The heavy wind that made you tremble all week is slowing down. You can feel a warm light entering your quiet space right now. The long season of your bitter struggle is officially over. And the restoration I promised to your ancestors is finally beginning to manifest inside your daily life because your soul has chosen the path of complete obedience. Remember what I named this mysterious restlessness in your chest. It was the unseen shift. It was never a sign of mental confusion or a spiritual attack from the enemy. Your spirit was simply sensing a holy doorway opening in the heavens before your human eyes could see the physical keys. The transition is now fully finished. You have successfully crossed the threshold of your dark valley. The gray fog of uncertainty is dissolving under the bright radiance of my holy presence. You can look at your future without a single drop of fear or worry, because my angels have already secured your territory. The lines have fallen for you in pleasant places. Let us complete your spiritual release on this very day. I want you to drop the heavy bags of control you have carried for decades. You do not have to protect your family with your own limited strength anymore because my sovereign shield is covering their lives. Open your tightly clenched hands right now and let the surrender begin. Your soul is becoming like a little child once again. This is the exact state of divine receptivity that I designed for your mind at the very beginning of creation. You are no longer trapped by the loud demands of a critical world. You are completely free to walk in the gentle rhythm of my grace while you receive your daily bread. Let us anchor this total transformation inside the physical world right now. If your spirit is vibrating with this holy truth, do not let this moment pass without a definitive response. Take a step of absolute faith. Like this video immediately to record your sacred agreement with the plans of heaven. It is a holy anchor. Your simple interaction is an act of spiritual alignment. Leave a deep token of your gratitude under this message before you leave this space. Write the phrase "I surrender all" in the comments below to seal this covenant forever. Type it now with a confident heart, because your words carry a heavy authority in the unseen realm. Do not let the enemy steal this quiet peace from your thoughts as soon as this video ends. He will try to bring the old worries back into your mind tonight. He wants you to forget the holy identity you received in this sanctuary. But you must stand firm in the glorious truth that has set your spirit free from his heavy chains. You are a vessel fully restored to receive what I have prepared for your journey. The channel between your heart and my throne is perfectly clear. The divine signal is incredibly strong inside your soul right now. You carry the precise frequency I placed in your brain from the beginning of time, and it can never be lost again. You are operating at the exact state I designed for human flourishing. You are open, and you are clear, and you are fully receptive to the wealth of heaven. The noise of the adversary no longer has any dominion over your thoughts. You can receive my provisions in absolute peace while you rest your tired body on your bed. Now, I call you to fulfill a sacred mission for my kingdom. You were not saved simply to exist in isolation. I have given you this deep comfort so you can become a living refuge for other broken souls. Think about the people in your life who are secretly crying out for a tiny drop of hope in their own dark valleys. Share this prophetic message with exactly 3 souls who are currently drowning in the loud static of fear. Do not hesitate, because your simple act of sharing can rescue a fragile mind from total despair today. You are becoming the very miracle that they have been begging me to send to their houses for many months. Become an active light bearer in a world filled with deep darkness. And ensure you subscribe to this holy channel right now so you never miss my daily guidance for your next steps. Turn on the notification bell as an act of continuous connection to my voice. I will speak to your spirit every single morning. Let me pour out my final blessing over your life before we close this encounter. I bless the thoughts inside your mind with an unshakable clarity that passes all human understanding. I command the old spirit of depression and anxiety to pack its bags and leave your home immediately, because this house belongs to the Lord. I bless the physical body you inhabit with total health and supernatural strength. Every single organ and every single cell will align with the perfect blueprint of creation right now. The chronic pain that has tortured your joints for many years is dissolving under the warm fire of my holy presence. You are fully healed. I bless your empty bank account with a sudden flood of divine provision. Doors of financial abundance that have been locked tightly for 3 generations are swinging wide open at my command right now. You will no longer have to beg or borrow to survive, because I am opening the grand windows of heaven over your career. I will cause the right people to notice your unique talents in the coming weeks. They will offer you opportunities that look entirely impossible to your human logic. You will not have to strive or hustle to obtain these promotions, because my favor will place your name on the hearts of powerful leaders while you sleep. I bless the relationships inside your home with a sweet oil of reconciliation. The bitter arguments that have divided your family for decades are coming to an end today. I am melting the hard stones of resentment inside the hearts of your children and your spouse. A new spirit of gentle love is entering your house. You will look at your relatives and feel a deep sense of gratitude instead of the old frustration. You are the chosen cycle breaker who has changed the destiny of this entire lineage through your trembling obedience. The children who are born after you will inherit a legacy of total freedom and spiritual wealth. Let us look ahead at the remaining days of this beautiful year. Every single step you take will be guided by my defensive angels. You will not stumble into the secret traps of the adversary because my light will expose every hidden danger on your path. You can walk forward with an unshakable confidence in your heart. The answer you needed today has been successfully delivered to your spirit. You do not have to search for external validation anymore because you know exactly who you are in my house. You are a masterpiece of my creation. You are an heir to an unshakable kingdom that can never be moved by the shaking of this world. Go forth into your day with a light heart and a smiling face. Let the joy of the Lord become your physical strength when you feel weary. I am working ahead of your steps to straighten the crooked paths and level the high mountains. You are perfectly safe under the shadow of my mighty wings. The victory is yours. The covenant we made in this quiet room is eternal. It cannot be broken by your future mistakes or your human weaknesses, because it is sustained by my unchanging grace. Rest in this absolute certainty, my beloved child. I love you with an everlasting love that will never fail your soul. Amen. Amen. It is done.